And that's Neil Myers, I think, that just lost the tail end of his Milan, heading round through Williams, just avoiding the tyre stack. So a 360 and Neil Myers on the back of the car. Advertises on the edge of a D, you have to say, they're heading towards Murray's. Enthusiastic, I think it's another way to describe it. In fairness, Alan Tice really knows how to chuck that car around. We saw Alan yesterday and the Fiesta, and equally last year we saw that same Marcos chasing the aforementioned Jamie Boots 4.7 litre Griffith, as well as a 6 litre Cobra. Right on their tail is that 1.9 litre Marcos. Absolutely incredible stuff here. Alan Tice really wrestling his car very, very well. We're seeing on stream the number 31, that's Alex Hewitson in the Austin Healey 3000 Mark II. That is right on the tail end of the 42 car. That's Lyndon Griffin that pilots that one. He'll be handing over to Nigel Adams during their particular pit stop. And yeah, so far so good. No major casualties so far in the race. Yeah, no, so they've all been just treading gingerly as the race begins to settle down now. We're just having a look at a great fight that's going on. When you've got Austin Healey's mixed up with Ginettas, mixed up with Minis and MGBs, it really is a busy part of the track, and that's exactly what's heading in towards Agostini at the moment. You've got that fantastic big Healey being wrestled round the circuit by Alexander Hewitson. Just ahead of him is going to be Lyndon Griffin, isn't it? The number 42 Lotus Elan that's ahead of him. So this is sort of 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all together, all busy squabbling away as they head out of Agostini up towards the left-hand kink at Hamilton. Also involved in that little squabble is going to be Alan Ross Jones in the Lotus Cortina, and Phil Bullen Brown at the wheel of his little Mini as well, which, as ever in typical Mini fashion, is cocking that inside wheel, isn't it, as it goes round through the corner. Every single corner that goes round, it's on 3 wheels, not 4.
Yep, full tripod mode going on in the Mini, and generally with Minis they chuck the nose in and boot it to get the car back out. I love how straight Alan Ross is coming through Everything Marvellous. Lots of sliding going on in that Cortina, in the back of that particular train. You can see there is in the Triumph being chased by there we go.
Brian Lambert.
Brian Lambert.
Back in the grid, Bob. I mean, Brian's been a long time MGB racer. Locked wheel, it's the inside wheel. It got loaded from Alexander Hewitson as he tried to anchor up Austin Healey. 3 litre coming over the start-finish line. We also need to keep an eye on what's going on through Ritchie's corner for the battle for 2nd and 3rd place as well, because Graham Ridgway is getting to the stage where he's needing to stick his elbows out a little bit, because ever closing in Alan Tice and the Volvo engine Marcos as they turn their way through the right-hander at Wilson and start to stretch their legs a little bit up towards Palmer. Now these two cars fighting over 2nd and 3rd are actually now 5 seconds adrift of our pole sitter and current race leader Sam Smith, who at the wheel of his little number 85 Lotus Elan is disappearing ever more up the road. We're talking about cocking wheels, aren't we? The Mini's cocking the inside rear wheel round the corners. You notice on Alan Tice's Marcus, it's the inside front wheel that's off the ground on some of the corners.
Well, he likes to do things differently. He's not one for sticking to conformity. Yeah, but there you go. The front left wheel wiggling away, coming through Agostini. But yeah, I had a lovely chat with Alan when he came out of the Fiesta he shared with his daughter Catherine Henderson yesterday in the tin tops, and he still calls this his main car. This is what him and Chris Connolly have raced for many, many years, and to great success as well. Still chasing the Lotus Elan GTS of Graham Ridgway, the number 54 car, as they now head through Williams and onto the Bentley Straight. It's amazing to think, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's such a small engine, comparatively speaking at least, in the Marcos, yet it can still put the pace in. You can see at the top of the screen that big gaggle of cars still arguing. There you go, there's a lovely, great promotional shot there. Elan, Marcos, TBR Group, and the next one.
What happened there? Right, the rest is history. Let's not talk about that. Yeah, the Marcos, it was always a quick car. It was very successful in endurance races, and still is now in historic racing. But yeah. it looks as though Mike on the way in towards Agostini, that is, where he's chatting to one of the marshals. Disappear out of the way, I'm afraid. So, yeah, so Allardyce, we know that's not
I love the Phil Bullet Brown four-wheel drifting, heading around the Austin Healey, but that's how you race that thing. He's just sliding away.
This is what sports car racing was about in the 1960s. The Mini, very, very quick through the corners, hardly does to slow down, but it loses out on power, not just to the Austin Healey, but also to the Tram TR4 with its 2.2 litre straight 6 engine in the hands of Neil Howe that sits behind. But come the next corner, the Mini's going to come barreling back up the inside and take the places back again. Those real David and Goliath battles that we always had.
Absolutely, yeah. The mighty Mini, no matter who's fighting, and there it is again. It's just it surprises so many people because it can brake so late. Well, when it actually bothers to brake, it just chucks the nose into the boot generally. There's Phil Bullet Brown. There's that tripod mode going on again. The away. Again, there's almost the inside wheel of Brian Lambert's car there, trying to do the same thing. There we go again. A wonderful eclectic mixture. Mini versus Austin Healey, and right behind them you've got the Ginetta and the Triumph. Yeah, like you say, a wonderful advert to the British engineering involved.
Yeah, absolutely. It's if you want to sort of understand about British engineering, I'd encourage you either go to Gaydon, the Motor Heritage Museum, just on the M40, or go to Coventry Motor Museum. Just how busy that part of the West Midlands was, and the UK generally, with building cars. Now this is the genetic fluid coming under pressure from TVRs, the Grand Tourer Mark II and Martin Stowe that lines up behind. Martin Stowe is also coming under pressure with a beautiful looking Porsche 911 that sits behind. 60s race a little later on today. We are now cutting in lead over the way. Window open, remember it goes 10 minutes into the 40-minute race. It then remains open for 15 minutes, closes for the final 15, and again, as we've seen in the future classics, every single driver, whether you share the car or not, you have to go into the pit lane and the pit into pit out and remain in that pit lane area for 2 minutes before you can rejoin the race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the Cortina bending off the advantage of the Blue Ginetta. There's the Grand Tourer having a look at the inside line coming down from the front of the car. Stephen Osborne in the number 80 car looks absolutely stunning. That 152, the Cortina of Mike Stevenson, I believe they had their first race here last as well. That thing is really, really loud. You know when he's coming along the road, because crikey, he does make a wonderful noise. Not that I'm complaining whatsoever, it's a beautiful noise that the car makes.
Yeah, that twin cam Lotus underneath the bonnet of the Cortina Mark 1. Of course, Cortina Mark 1 secured the British Saloon Car Championship. It was called the Jim Clark back in period, and he's just heading up this queue, which includes Chris Blewett at the wheel of the Ginetta, then the Martin Stowe driven, very dark green, isn't it, TVR Grand Tourer that sits behind, followed by that Porsche, and then the next of the cars thereafter, that'll be Richard Longdon's Mini, I think, the dark blue one with the white roof to it. And Richard Longdon is coming under pressure from a couple of light blue MGBs that are sitting behind as well. One of those, I think, will be Mark Hope, the number 55 car, and the other one, I think, will be Sam Skellenbury.
Indeed, Mark Hope, and it is indeed the Skellenbury car that there he is, the one who's ringside the Skellenbury, and Mark Price has shared the race them. Oh, and there goes the Grand Tourer on the inside line of Chris Blewett as the and he managed to hold on to that one. Martin Stowe and the rest of the I would imagine Mr. Longdon is feeling very, very small. I mean, you might say that's an obvious statement being sat in a Mini, but when you're sat in a group such as this, Grand Tourer, Cortina, and someone accentuates the fact that you're in a very, very small car. Also, lovely about Mr. Phil Bullet Brown, every corner he's doing is on the that's exactly how they're expecting.
Absolutely, yeah, and motor racing's not cheap, so if you can do some of it on 3 tyres, it's all money saving, isn't it? It's all money saving.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the way you've got to a Mark 1 Mini. You've got to bring its neck. You've got to absolutely throw the car into the corner. Get the tail end. Almost steer it from the rear if you can. Because get the rear just unsettled and bouncing, and just keep it planted. It's an art. Absolutely not going to some of these cars. The time and effort put into the preparation of them is absolutely stunning. So it's a great battle to see as they thread their way out of the bomb hole and up towards Coram. They'll be about to conclude their 5th lap, this little pack that's coming up towards the braking area of the line. So I'm sure are now leading the squabble that goes on behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. That pack is not dissipating at all, is it? And whoa, lovely slide there from the 82 car, that beautiful Porsche. That's yeah, again, as you're saying, beautiful car, a lot of value in it, and they are not afraid to chuck them around, which is wonderful for us. Yeah, we get to enjoy these beautiful cars in their kind of native surroundings. Bit of a lock-up there, just going into the first turn. I think that was the Longford Mini deciding to dip some tyres on the road. Not correct very much. Really glad to see this now. There is Tom Andrew in that gorgeous Jaguar type. We don't see very many of those here, but wow, is that a stunning car to see. And there it is, the number 70 car. Gorgeous to listen to as well. It has a very distinctive roar as, I mean, it's so fast. It's such a gorgeous car.
Well, it voted the most beautiful car ever designed. Then so Ferrari said it was the most beautiful car ever designed as well. And that's a mark. It's technically playing the way it's wrestling the car with the oversteer going out of the corner, but a power slide, a beautifully controlled power slide. And what we're looking at here is Tom Andrew in the top position, working his way onto the Bentley straight. Although the great car that sits behind, which is going to be Cliff Gray, who was a long-time Jaguar racer as well, things like XJSs and things. He's trying to outpower an E-type down the Bentley straight. Outpowering it won't work, but outbraking it will as he dives on the inside.
Yeah, that's another car you don't see very many of either, is the Scimitar. Golden colour on the
Reliant Sabre, I should say. Sabre.
I'm building up the cars as well. I'm blaming you for that one. Yeah, we didn't steal that car for the last couple of years. Very regular name, and has been for a number of years for the Wasp Performance team. And also out of the pits comes the 678, so Martin Stowe having served his pits, and away he goes. Yet more pit stops coming. Looks like I'm going to be needed down at the pit lane again.
Yeah, the number 170 car, Mike Henny and Phil Strader, just swapping over. Neil Howe's beautiful looking Triumph TR4 is in the pit lane as well. So he was a driver that was towards the sharp end of the order, so he will start to drop down a little bit from where he had previously been positioned. So pit window open, and several drivers opting to come in towards the front of it. It's going to remain open for another 10 minutes as yet. So Chris Blewett is in at the wheel of the yellow Ginetta. Chris, who is heavily involved as one of the driver representatives in the club for the Swinging 60s, as his wife as well. We thank them for all of their help that they do behind the scenes. We've also got the Alan Ross Jones, I think that is, that's in the pit lane. Car that's in the pit lane there. It's car 152 that's in the pit lane. And despite the fact that it's a chilly day, you can see drivers in the door as they sit there in the pit lane, because it might be chilly outside the car, but inside the car it is going to be rather hot and comfortable still, in particular for the 40-minute race. Matt Holborn in his TVR Tuscan is in the, I said TVR Tuscan, what I meant to say for Matt Holborn in his TVR Griffin is Tuscan is as well. Conducting their mandatory pit stops. Out on track had a change from second and third place on that lap. I think the mark was tight. 5 laps up Dick Graham Ridgeway, and the wheel of number 54 Lotus Lotus Elan. So they were together, but it was a slower lap for the Elan, so there might have been a mistake somewhere through it, and the mistake probably would have been first sector, I think. That was where the Elan perhaps lost time, and that was what allowed Marcos to split his way through. Sector, he was slower than you would expect him to be, so it might have been where the problem was, a bit of a moment, maybe running wide onto the grass or something like that, but it has meant that the Marcos has now moved up ahead of the Elan. Lotus from Marcos, Lotus from Ford, albeit a Lotus Cortina, Mini, Austin Healey, Ginetta, Lotus and MGB being the top 10 the way things currently stand in terms of the manufacturers. Mark Hope at the wheel of the light blue number 55 MGB, threading his way out of Murray's. The car behind him, though, which was going to be Simon Scantlebury, I think might have dived for the pit lane. Yeah, there's only one light blue MG coming over the start-finish line, so Simon Scantlebury maintains 60 position towards the pit lane, which means that now heading around through Richie, one of the light blue MGBs. Number 55 car, that is still doing great things, squabbling away with Richard Longdon's little Mini that lies ahead. The Mini, in the hands of Richard Longdon, will be handed over to his son Rory Longdon for part 2. Richard, not a huge fan of this circuit, he said. There's other circuits he prefers compared to Snetterton, but Rory, his son, is scheduled to take over the car. Absolutely loves Snetterton, and this will be great for him. Still in the process of sorting out pit stops. I think we've seen number 177 Christian Douglas into the pit lane that time through, so he will rejoin the circuit in something like 15th position at the wheel of the 177 car. Backwards is where all the cars that have pitted have done, and that are ahead of that are either not pitting as yet or have only just come into the pit lane. It's going to shuffle its way up. This, I think, Neil Howe is the leading car that has pitted at the moment, the Triumph TR4. So Neil was running towards the sharp end inside the top 6. He read his way back up through the order, a long break on the run in. Heads round through the left-hander of Palmer. Triumph TR4. Can't choose what I prefer, 4, 5. I like the 3A as well. I'd like to have it when I go race the 6. Maybe not so much. But yeah, the Triumph TR4 always beautifully prepared by Neil Howe, and all of his cars the same colour as well, which makes it very easy to on the brown wheel of his Mark 1 Mini is making his way to Neil Howe on track, but Neil Howe has pitted, whereas Phil Bullen Brown at the wheel of the white number 193 Mini is running in 4th place at the moment and hasn't pitted, so he's as yet to come into the pit lane and conduct his mandatory pit stop. And in fact, anybody that's inside the top 6 hasn't pitted as yet. So Sam Smith, Valentine, Graham Ridgway, Brown, number 82, Stephen Osborne. Everybody else has pitted. Nigel Street suggesting 77 hasn't, but it hasn't been seen into the pit lane, so I do wonder if there's a slight transponder issue with his car. There is the slightly sideways. Well, it's the only right way to drive a Healey, isn't it, of Alexander Hewitson. Just got a little bit sideways coming out of the corner, but as he heads around the track, let's have you back down into the pits and Chris Buxton.